After criticism, Thursday. Now finally it's Thursday, and we are reading the genocide dossier. Yeah, it's time to do our civil duty, our duty as human beings, because Palestinians are getting exterminated under a genocide in their homeland. And yeah, I'm not sure personally. I don't know what to say about living in a terrible country, in a terrible place. Of course, maybe it's not Palestinians' guilt. But life's complex. Life, Chile or South America, is also terrible. But you will say, is not Chileans or Brazilians' fault or Argentinians' fault. In my opinion, it is. It is. I mean, it's terrible. So I guess Palestinians remain in Palestine because there's an invasion, an invasor. So, but what can we say about South America? These mixed people, and I guess there's no unity. So, in my opinion, the human experience show us there's no community, there's no country, there's just a bunch of terrible people. That's the reality. And I guess this fact is hard to notice in Palestine because they are under attack, understand? So Palestinians, they tend to think that life will be fantastic if there will not be an aggressor, an invader. But that's not true. That's not true. So here we go. These Al Jazeera live updates, they are covering the genocide dossier on Palestine. Live updates, and there's a video as usual. Watch Al Jazeera English TV, live news and current affairs. It's a very good, very nice newspaper. Israel kills 62 in Gaza as residents in North dig for survivors by hand. At least 37 people killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza City, including many women, children, sources on the ground report. Yeah, I guess they just don't care about, they are committing a genocide against the whole people. They don't care if people are whatever. And there's something going on. Those. I didn't get what was going on there. I was trying to figure out on local newspapers, but who knows? Well, this summarize is by Udo Oba. Udo Oba, Jamal, Virginia, Pietro Marchi, Usaid Siddiqui, Masair Motamedi. No people, regular journalists from Al Jazeera. My friends, yeah, I spent so much time with them. Israeli attacks have killed at least 62 in Gaza today, including 37 in Gaza City. Residents told Al Jazeera that they are digging for survivors with their bare hands, searching since 5 a.m. local time this morning. Hungary announced it will withdraw from the International Criminal Court. which has issued an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu as he continues his visit to the European Union country. Israel's military has confirmed carrying out new attacks on Syria's Damascus, Hama, and Homs governorates. Local authorities say 9 people were killed. Gaza's health ministry says at least 50,523 Palestinians are confirmed dead and 114,638 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza. The government media office updated its death toll to more than 61,700, saying thousands of people missing under the rubble are presumed dead. And the last one, at least 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led October 7, 2023 attacks, and more than 200 were taken captive 7 minutes ago. Watch which countries have kept their promises on Gaza. In this fact check, Al Jazeera's Khalid Maizobo official looks at what different countries have said should be done in Gaza and what they actually have done. Al Jazeera's Khalil Maizobo official looks at what different countries said should be done in Gaza and what they actually did 22 minutes ago, April 3rd. Hamas condemns Hungary quitting ICC. Quote, Hungary's withdrawal from the International Criminal Court is a blatant complicity with a fugitive war criminal and a flagrant violation of international law. End quote. The Palestinian group says in a statement, quitting the ICC is quote, a blow to the principle of international justice and an embodiment of a policy and double standards, end quote. It said, quote, withdrawing from the ICC undermines the international judicial system and encourages impunity, it added. Hamas comments come from Hungary announced its pullout from the court as Netanyahu is there for the state visit despite being under an ICC arrest warrant over alleged war crimes related to the war in Gaza. International Criminal Court. 37 minutes ago, Thursday, April 3rd, quote, what kind of live hour is, end quote. Gaza City residents search for bodies after Israeli strikes. Terrible, terrible genocide. Residents of Gaza are describing Israel's relentless attacks since this morning to Al Jazeera. Quote, during the night the Israelis target the house of the Abu Him family, the house used to host so many children and women, end quote. Mahdi Obeid in Gaza City recounted, quote, 90% of the victims are women and children, he said. Quote, the 4th floor building has collapsed and we don't know who died and who is still alive under the rubble, end quote. Also in Gaza City, Ahmed Jundiaya said they have been recovering body parts since 5 a.m. Quote, there are no medical teams here and there are no civil defense units either. We don't have even the very primitive and simple tools like hammers to do the job. We only use our hands, end quote. Jundia said, quote, still there are dead bodies and people who are still alive under the rubble. We need medical and civil defense, end quote. He added, quote, Israel is not allowing any tools and equipment to enter Gaza. Some children are still under the rubble. What kind of life is ours? These are the results of the ongoing Israeli aggression, in addition to the silence of the Arab countries. Quote, "Stop the war against us for the sake of God. Enough is enough." Yeah. End quote. And 1 hour ago, U.S. senators threatened aid to Lebanese army. Two top members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee accused the Lebanese army of being, quote-unquote, too slow in implementing its commitments under the November ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. Senator Jim Rich and Jean Shaheen, a Republican and Democrat respectively, urged the army to speed up its deployment to southern Lebanon, which it is obligated to do under the term of the ceasefire. Doing so is to make it the only armed force in southern Lebanon. Quote, "Any Lebanese army hesitancy will force the U.S. to re-evaluate its approach to founding," the senator said, as reported by Al Arabiya. The U.S. is by far the biggest founder of Lebanon's army, which the U.S. sees as the only group capable of counterbalancing the security capabilities of the paramilitary Hezbollah. Gaza faces largest orphan crisis in modern history. Tens of thousands of Palestinian children have lost their parents since the start of Israel's genocidal war, the Palestinian Central Bureau of Statistics says in a statement. The statement issued on the eve of Palestinian Children's Day said 39,384 children in Gaza have lost one or both parents after 534 days of war. Among these are about 17,000 children who have been deprived of both parents, the Bureau said. And there's a terrible photograph. Yeah, mama Jundia, 13 years, injured in an Israeli airstrike, drives over the bodies of relatives who were killed in the same strike in Al-Ali Arab Hospital in Gaza City. There's a new live update. Well, the very last one, Israel continues to pound Gaza. There's a graphic. Well, a lot of people dying. Terrible genocide. April 3rd, a few seconds ago. Qatar condemns Israeli strikes on Syria as violation of international law. Qatar, it considers the latest Israeli attacks across Syria that killed and wounded dozens overnight, quote, a blatant attack on Syria's sovereignty and unity, and a flagrant violation of international law, end quote. The international community must take urgent action to compel Israel to abide by its international commitments and to, quote, to stop its repeated aggression on Syrian territory, end quote. Qatar's foreign ministry said in a statement, the Israeli military said it, quote, struck military capabilities that remain at the Syrian bases of Hama and T4, along with additional remaining military infrastructure sites in the area of Damascus. And there's a last photograph. F-16 fighter jet prepares to take off of the airbase in southern Israel. Here's better. Palestinians should come here. I will adopt a child. I have 0 childs. I have 3 dogs. It's perfect for childs.